Welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one gambling podcast show on earth. I'm Billy here with Greg and Morgan, and it's almost time. It's almost time for the madness to begin, boys. If you guys couldn't tell, we were excited last week on Sunday, Selection Sunday. Did almost a 3-hour episode. Our producer had some Wi-Fi problems, hard to bring up, hard to produce an episode without Wi-Fi. So all the clips will be up tomorrow for those you want. Each region separately, so you don't have to listen to Morgan and his dirty hair for 3 hours. Boys,
It
how
was
we
beautiful for 3 hours. I don't know what you're saying.
doing? How are we doing tonight, boys?
Yeah, doing pretty well. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Tomorrow's gonna restart basketball again for us. We get a little NIT action. Not that I've dove deep into that at all, but 3 days without it, it's been a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird for sure. Morgan, how about yourself? How you doing tonight?
I am doing just fine, William. How about you? How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm dandy, I guess. I'm keep winning these NBA bets that I know nothing about. But
That's why you're winning them.
yeah, I mean,
No
I guess.
overthinking done.
Yeah, thinking gets you into trouble sometimes. That's what I learned about baseball. Like whenever
A
I
lot of
bet on
times.
baseball, I don't know who's pitching. I don't know shit. I'm just like, click, I'll take them, and it usually works out in my favor. So it doesn't work out for the UFC though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, UFC's tough. I mean, in baseball, even the worst team's gonna win 60 times. So
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't like it. A team who's bad shouldn't win that much. Fun fact, Greg. You know that guy that got knocked out in one punch last weekend?
yeah,
Yep, I was on him.
were you really?
Yeah, it was brutal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was brutal. It is.
That's what you call a bad beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But what the fuck do I know? I didn't do any homework on it. I was just watching it, so.
Yeah, I mean that's like taking Ben Askew against Masvidal. You guys might not know what I'm talking about, but Masvidal in that match, it was the quickest knockout of all time. They literally ran at each other. Masvidal flying kneed him in the first 3 seconds of the match. Gets knocked out cold.
Yeah. Askren stinks. That's why he's fighting
Ben Askren.
Yep. Yeah. That's why it's me fighting a YouTube star next coming weeks.
Yeah. That's right. That's
and unfortunately, I will also be fading him there because he stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, what do you want to start off with tonight? We had a lot of stuff to talk about. I personally have NIT games, first four action. Morgan, are you gonna be betting on Toledo tomorrow?
You better believe it.
Oh boy, let me hear why.
Because that's my school. I don't have to have a reason for that one. No, I love Toledo. I always love Toledo. Yeah, it's my school. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna ride what has worked for me and hope for the best.
I don't know. I think I might be on Richmond.
Well, nobody likes a spider, so everybody likes rockets.
Yeah, I think I'm on Toledo tomorrow.
The way I see it,
give me a break.
The way I've seen it for the NIT, there's two things that happen. Teams that say they want to be there and are just like a little disappointed they didn't make the real tournament, and teams that actually want to be there to win. And I think Richmond is one of those teams that rather are just happy to still be playing, whereas Toledo's like a little mad that they're not going to be in the real tournament, and they won't care about this game as much. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be betting on that game or the other game. I'll probably take Western Kentucky tomorrow. Money line. I like them. I think that they're a little scrap bunch, good rebounding team. They get some points on the board.
St. Mary's stinks too.
Fuck anything St. Mary's, Mount St. Mary's, any Marys, I'm against it.
Yeah, I think Toledo is probably going to feel real spiteful about the whole situation because, clearly we all know they needed to win that tournament to get in, but they probably think that they're a better team than Ohio and Buffalo. and the fact that Buffalo just got in at large, it's probably a kick in the ass to them.
Buffalo didn't get in at large. They're in the NIT.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, you're definitely right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah.
I could tell you every single bracket matchup at this
No,
point.
it's when I'm looking at the lines on Bovada, they're
Yeah,
all they're all mixed
they're
together.
mixed together. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Shake it off. I do have a play for sure for the NIT. Let's just start with the NIT first, I guess. For Thursday, it's going to be NC State money line against Davidson. Davidson, one of the slowest teams in the entire country, and B, NC State, much better team. For some reason, NC State are underdogs by a point and a half to 1 point. Line's wrong. Line's wrong. Nobody cares about NIT. I think that this is an easy win for NC State to roll through Davidson. They're one of my favorites to win the NIT in general. Them and Buffalo.
Okay.
Do you guys, Morgan? I know you're a big NIT guy. You have anything else to the NIT so far?
Yeah, I'm on Mount St. Mary's. Right now it's a pick 'em. However, it was a 2-point favorite for Mount St. Mary's as of 15 minutes ago. So this sucker's moving like crazy. Mount St. Mary's is 5-2 in their last 7 against the spread, whereas Texas Southern is 3-11. So I feel very confident in Mount St. Mary's covering this.
Isn't that one the play-in game?
Yeah, that's the
You guys
playing
are
game for
all
the
over the
tournament.
place. You guys are all over the place. I need you two to clean it up.
Why? What?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
yeah,
have it
you-
written in.
16
I
seed.
have it written in the wrong column. My
That's
bad.
all right. I'll forgive you both. This is the last time, though.
the last time. That's it. No more.
Last time. Let's move on to the first
Oh,
four in, since he's already started with it. So you just like it because of the line move? Why do you like it?
no. I was gonna say I had other because I didn't say much to NIT. I do have the Boise State SMU over, also with NIT.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with that. It's at 145.5 right now. Both of these teams are going to get out there and run and score. So I think we have a good chance. I think that number is actually a little low, to be honest. I think it's going to be this guy's going to be pushing like an 80 to 70 ballpark.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I think that number's pretty low. Boys,
I
you can
don't.
score.
Yeah, boys who can score. They're a little pissed off if they didn't get into the tournament either.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna be one that I think comes out firing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are they a 1 seed?
I believe they are.
Yeah.
It's not the bracket I've been looking at, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Off the top of the head, I do not know. I can pull it up if you'd like.
I personally don't really care.
Okay, so I'll go fuck myself.
You said it, not me.
Since Greg doesn't give two flying shits about the NIT, let's go to the first four. Since Morgan already touched upon it.
Doing it in reverse,
Yeah, we'll go back. Just play the Uno reverse card,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Morgan, did you want to elaborate on that pick a little bit more before we go in?
No, but really that one, I'm more into like the Michigan State UCLA game. But that game, I'm strictly going off trends and what their numbers have been against the spread of late. So I got to get the little itch a little bit more fixed and everything before the first round games really get into it. So gotta get the bad picks out of the way early, so the good
That's
ones
fair.
come in.
I mean, you and Greg both have some pretty bad picks down the stretch, so I'm hoping you get it out of the way.
I would love that.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough end to the season. Didn't see it coming.
I was surprised because like all your money line bets were hitting, like all your money line parlays and whatnot. Like obviously we speak off air about things we bet on. Not everything we bet on because we bet on much more than what you guys see. Greg was killing it, but on the Twitter, it was rough. It was a rough ending for him.
Yeah, and clearly we care about that a lot because we want to produce winning picks. But when my spreads aren't hitting, But they're
Go
still
money
winning the
line.
game, and I got the money lines and parlays, and those are hitting for big paydays. It's like, how can I really complain very much?
Yeah.
If I didn't have those parlays, I'd be in a much more somber mood most of these days. But not much to complain about right now. Looking forward
Yeah.
to this big tourney.
Yeah, you could be like me with the back when Seton Hall blew it for me and everyone I love. The whole power went out in the house. Didn't need it. Didn't need that in my life. Neither does Greg. So thank God he's still hitting those money line parlays. But let's get into the first four action. Start with Michigan, the most popular game, the most hyped game, probably the biggest first four game I've seen. I mean, Michigan State going against UCLA. For me, it's if it's March, it's Izzo. It's that simple. Comes down to coaching. Um, I do think it's to be a close game. I'm taking just Michigan State money line as my play. I
Mhm.
don't know if they. I think it's gonna be a one-score game because I don't trust Michigan State to win by more than 2.5 or 3. I think it could come down to the very end because both these teams want to get in. They want to get in because both these teams have a decent shot at beating USC. So for me, I'm taking the team who doesn't play in the shitty Pac-12. I'm taking the team that's got the better coach, more driven coach, knows how to coach in the tournament as opposed to a younger coach. Give me Michigan State money line. Morgan, what do you got?
I love that pick. I'm on Michigan State money line as well. As you said, you don't go against Izzo when it comes to March time. Michigan State came off a very strong February where it really got them back into the picture, and in 7 games they went 5-2. So I really like their chances to straight up win outright. I have it as laying 1.5 at this point. I think it'll probably get a 2.5. And like I said, I wouldn't feel good about this being. It's not going to be leaning heavy either way. So I'm not. I'd rather just go straight up with it. And there's more experience, and you said, I don't trust Pac-12. Like, Oregon sucks. We talked about it Sunday night. Oregon's absolutely trash. That entire conference they don't have anything good. They got good individual players, but not teams.
It's very true. Greg, you have a play on this game as well?
Yeah, for me, it's either Michigan State or nothing. I've been on the wrong side of a few too many UCLA games as of late. Games, off the,
Off
off
the
the
board.
air. Yeah. So, not that I was, you know, giving out to people, but things I was just doing on my own, and it didn't end up working out in my favor. Uh, they don't look good. They're they're losing games that they should win, and we all know Michigan State has 3 incredible wins on their resume, so they have the ability to beat anybody on any given day. And like you said, if it's March, it's Izzo. I think they take this game, whether it's by a couple points or they end up winning by double digits. I think it's theirs to lose, but it's not my favorite play of the first 4.
I'm sure you're gonna be all over that Drake Wichita State game.
That is correct.
I'll let you kick it off with that one. I do not have a play on that. I'm gonna just let that one ride out personally
Hmm.
because it's currently a pick 'em.
Hmm.
That means not only I don't know what's gonna happen, Vegas doesn't know what's gonna happen either, and that's
Right.
in a playing game. It's always a bad sign for me, so I tend to stay away. What do you got for me, Greggy?
Yeah, so this line opened up at Wichita -1.5. It is now moved to a pick 'em, like you said. And, you know, all these lines have moved like crazy so far. From the moment Selection Sunday happened and lines started to be provided, there have been there have been lines that have had 3 point, 3.5 point movements already. It's wild. But this game we have 1.5 point movement. Everyone thinks it's going to be a close game. We see more money going towards Drake's way clearly with the 1.5 point line movement, and I'm going to be on that side as well for the fact that I think Drake is the better team. They play in a weaker conference, but I think with all things considered, I think they have the better guard play in this game. I think they have the better interior presence in this game. Uh, they have 4 guys that average over 5 rebounds a game in Drake. Wichita State only has 1. So I think if it comes down to guys missing shots and creating more possessions, I think that's gonna really favor Drake in this game, creating way more possessions than they would originally have.
I don't hate that. I don't hate it. Morgan, do you have a play on that game?
Yeah, I am taking Wichita. Um, which there's a big difference with Wichita having been here before. Drake hasn't been in the tournament since 2008, so there's no experience there. Um, Drake also, their starting point guard, Roman Penn, who's been puts about 11 points per night, is out for the game, and their leading scorer, Shanquan Hemphill, he's questionable. We don't know if he's going to play. He's putting up 14.2 a night, and even if it's a play-on game, he might not be able to go, and he's not going to be able to go at 100%. So I think that's going to lean heavily into Wichita State's favor for sure.
But they still have, they still have Yusufu, they have Wilkins, they have Sturts, Brody. They still have a lot of big
Yeah, I mean
time
they
presence
have
on
other
the
guys
floor.
as well, but I think who's going to be? I don't. I mean, this is a general question because I just don't know who's going to be running the point for them. Like, is it going to be a freshman out there?
It'll be Yusufu, I'm sure.
It's still. I think you're losing. You're taking 25 points out of your lineup a night without those two players. So
I mean,
even if they're good players, it's still a step down.
they have 7 players that are averaging 8 points a game.
Well, if you put the 16 in for the two that'll be out into 25, that's 9 points that they're missing right there, and I cover my 2.5. So I take.
Well, if you
That
think about it,
sounds.
Hemphill is their leading scorer. He's averaging 20 minutes a game. That is 10th most, 11th most on the team.
Wild.
That is wild, right?
Freaking yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like Wichita. I like a team that's been there, has done this before over a team that hasn't been there in over a decade.
That is true. Morgan's math seems to be a little weird. So the
Are you
adding
surprised?
player
Are you
points and
surprised by
minusing
that in the
player
slightest point?
adding player points to minusing player points in order to get his cover with the 9 and the 25. He's just making shit up. Personally, in my opinion, I know Drake can score. I know Wichita can score. It's gonna be a good game, and I don't want to put any of my juju on that game. So I'm leaving that.
You're hot. Why don't you spread the wealth then?
I want nothing to do with that game.
Why you don't want to jeopardize how hot you are?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you
That game is too close to call for me.
jerk off. We're supposed to bet every
I
game.
have another one that I'm a little iffy about, but I'm going to be playing anyway. And it's going to be one of my favorite college football teams. It's going to be Appalachian State. I'm going to be taking them on the money line as well. I might, if it gets to 2.5, I'll take the 2.5. It's currently sitting at 3. I really don't feel like buying a point for Appalachian State. But I will be taking the Appalachian State Michigan State money line parlay at plus 190. It's already in.
Okay.
I have a little fun fact. Let me pull it up about Appalachian State. It really comes down to this: they're 7-0 in the last 15 games when they make 10 or more 3-pointers. They are 1-7 in those 15 games when they don't make 10 or more 3-pointers. So I don't think it'll be a fun game to watch. I will be home for most of this game because I do have a day job, unfortunately. But I will be home. This is an 8:40 tip-off, hopefully. Most likely more towards 9. I'll be praying for those 3-pointers to be raining on Norfolk State. If not, then we're going to start off slow. But App State has always done me well in college basketball, in college football. So it's a name that I trust, the Mountaineers. If you want to have a little laugh, in the early 1990s, they made a video to recruit kids to come to the college. It's called Appalachian State is Hot, 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 and it is one of the funniest videos you'll ever see. Check that out if you have a chance. Is there one more that you guys have a play on for that for the
I
playing
just thought
games?
I don't have a play on it. I actually I'm looking at the bracket, just thinking how funny it would be if you switched Gonzaga and Michigan in their regions, and you could possibly have a Michigan versus Appalachian State kind of throwback to football and everything. I think so that'd be pretty neat to see them both programs take down this monster.
I wouldn't hate that matchup if
Yeah,
Appalachian
wow.
State could hit their
I
threes.
wouldn't either. Yeah.
Michigan can't cover the 3-point line worth a lick.
It would have been really cool just to see that possibly happen.
I love it. That would have been really cool. Who do they? I don't have the bracket right in front of me. Who do they match up with? The winner of what?
Gonzaga.
No, I know they match up the winner of Gonzaga.
Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern would get Michigan.
I think Texas Southern could possibly give them a. I think Texas Southern could cover that game. They shoot pretty well.
Against Gonzaga?
I like Mount St. Mary's to win that against between the two of them.
I like Mount St. Mary's to win that game, unfortunately, and I won't bet on it because I fucking hate Mount St. Mary's with my whole passion. Thanks to what they did to me. Right? Greg, you're not wearing that shirt today, right? Okay.
No, I'm not. I should have.
What are you wearing today? Hold on, what are you wearing today?
I'm actually repping
Core Calisthenics?
one of my buddy's business. Yeah, Core Calisthenics. Go follow him on Instagram. They got some great stuff going on.
You gonna drop the Instagram?
Yeah, it's Core Calisthenics.
Oh, it's at Core Calisthenics?
Yeah.
I got you. Follow him if you need your core built up a little bit, boys and girls.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say this has nothing to do with anything, but I kind of found it funny that you tell people to follow people and go give them follows, and don't give out the Twitter or anything because we just we haven't been able to build your following. That's what that was funny.
At Gersh Greg, follow me at Gersh Greg.
At Gersh Greg.
I don't even know what it is.
At Greg, I'm gonna get like a plane with a big old beach sign off the back of it saying at Gersh Greg.
If
you follow,
that should do it.
If you follow me on Venmo, and I'll send you $1.
Yes. I'm gonna get a hot air balloon.
If I win my
fun fact, somewhat about hot air balloons has nothing to do with anything. Did you know there's only 8 blimps left in existence?
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, there's only 8.
This is so off course, but boys and girls, I'm googling this. Blimps are there. 25 blimps.
All right, it's a little bit more than 8.
Goodyear alone has 25 blimps.
That's not a lot of blimps.
You said 8, so why are you lying to me?
8 and 25 are very similar numbers.
Listen, boys and girls, we've now learned that Morgan is an unreliable source of information.
Morgan's Wikipedia.
Yes.
Yeah. Morgan's not Wikipedia. Morgan's Ask Jeeves. For all those people our age, that's Morgan's Ask Jeeves.
Just give you the great. If you were bored during the day, if you needed somebody to talk to, just send a message to Ask Jeeves. See what he comes back with.
Yeah, the text message actually before they had their own website. Is that it for the first round, boys?
That's it.
The first four in.
I'm not going to go into the first 64 round until Thursday because some things are going to change, and I'm still floating back and forth on some things.
Oh no, I'm going in, bro.
Yeah, gotta go in with your best picks.
I want to get the best number. I know I have my picks.
Your best number is most likely gone by Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's tomorrow's Wednesday. I got a chance to really dive into it more.
All right.
Today's Wednesday.
So since he doesn't want to dive in because he's a little bitch, Greg, kick us off. Give us a couple. How many picks you got? The first round. We're only doing Friday picks.
We're only doing Friday.
Yes. Because we'll come back with Saturday on Thursday.
Okay. All right. I did not write down whether these games were on Friday or Saturday.
All right. Just hit me with how many picks you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hit me with 3. I'll do 3, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay. All right. So I know you guys disagree with this, but one of my absolute favorite plays so far is going to be Wisconsin plus 1.5 against UNC. I know you guys disagree with this already from our podcast on Sunday.
Not as much anymore.
Really? Okay. All right.
It's not my
I
play.
still do. I still do, but
Okay. I mean, the line opened up at 1.5 for Wisconsin. I unfortunately didn't get it at that number, but I do have it at 1 now because I don't want it to have to go down to a pick 'em. Uh, like I said on Sunday, I love the senior heavy presence for Wisconsin. They've been there. They've tested the battlegrounds in the tournament many times already. They have 5 players who have played over 100 games on the college hardwood versus UNC, who has, you know, to no fault of their own, major turnover year in, year out. Sure, they're a talented bunch, but they shoot terribly from the 3-point line. They rebound well, but I'm thinking that Wisconsin, plays it smart, takes their good looks, and hopefully hits some shots and doesn't blow a late lead.
Okay. No, like I've been swayed back and forth in the past 36 hours. Um, I have it in a couple brackets that I have Wisconsin moving on. I have it in a couple brackets UNC is moving on. I'm very undecided about the game. Um, I will say that Wisconsin's played good sometimes. In the beginning of the year, they seem like a top 10 team.
Mm-hmm.
You heard me say it on this podcast, and then they made me look like an idiot. When
Yeah,
pretty much right after I said that, I went real cold, losing bad games, bad teams. Um,
yeah,
you
they've
know,
done that a few times.
yeah, they don't beat anybody better than them. And I think UNC is playing the best basketball they have all year. They're kind of hitting their stride, but how good is that? You know?
Right, I agree. I mean, ever since that game against Marquette where they got blown out at home, they have played a lot better. I think that was definitely a big wake up call for them
Hmm.
that they really need to step it up, and which they have. But I think that Wisconsin is just going to be a bit too much for them. They've been there. They know what it's like. I don't think they're going to fall under the pressure.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So,
What pick do you got for us?
let's start me off with my favorite pick, the one I've been talking about nonstop. You guys know where I'm going with this. I'm
I
going
do.
Utah State +5 against Texas Tech. Um, I'm on the money line. I'm giving out the +5 when I do it on Twitter. But full disclosure, I will be on the money line as well, and it won't be a sprinkle. It'll be a full 2-unit play. Um, to me, Utah State's the better team. Texas Tech has proved they can't play on the road. They allow 75 points per game on the road as opposed to 58 points per game at home. They can't play any defense on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Can't guard the 3-point line. Utah State shoots the ball very well. A little fun fact about Utah State: they are 5-1 against the spread on neutral floors in the last 6. You add that in, you go against who are the best 2 players in each team. Namus Keita is an unstoppable force, and Matt McClung cold as ice lately. Can't make a
he
3.
cannot hit anything.
Cannot hit anything.
It is painful to watch.
Um, yeah, Texas Tech's been in a shooting slump. And I know Morgan was a big Texas Tech guy to the Final Four. I never hated that pick at all, but going against my Aggies, it's too easy of a pick for me. Utah State's going to get no respect, just like they weren't going to get any respect last year. They're here to stay. Give me the Utah State +5, and for the
I
boys and
don't hate
girls,
that.
the money line.
I don't hate that. I don't. I keep as much as I love Texas Tech. I mean, we just as you just mentioned, I had them as they were in one of my early looks I was doing. I had them as the runner-up in the very end. So I don't know. You've very much talked me into Utah State a lot in the past couple of weeks. So
They're for real.
yeah,
Listen,
I don't know.
it's a
It's a tough
very
game to
tough
pick.
matchup.
So I mean, we'll see. Right now, I still lean Texas Tech as of right now because there's guys on this roster that were. I mean, it's only been 2 years since they were in the national title. So there's guys on this roster there who have been there. So you can't kind of discount that senior leadership or I guess junior whatever it happened to be. Just that pedigree that's been there. So I don't know. I kind of like that in this situation, but we'll see what I decide in about 10 minutes.
in about 10 minutes.
Ask me in
Um,
10 and then ask me again in 30. I'll have two different answers.
that's fair. I will say this is not an easy game to handicap because
Mhm.
these teams kind of play very similarly. You know, they're tough. They play a lot of defense. They rely on turnovers. Um, it's gonna be a fun game to watch, and I'm very excited to watch it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think the line is perfect right now.
it's right. The line is right. I just don't think that a lot of people, nobody's betting on. The line might get better for Utah State. A lot
It's
of public
dropped two and
money.
a half points. It's dropped
Yeah, I
two and a
mean,
half
but like
points.
when the public money comes in, I think a lot of the public money is going to take Texas Tech at 5.
Yeah, it might swing back up to 6.
Yeah, I mean, I have it at 6.5.
Yeah, I got it at
Yeah,
6.5.
I can't give that out to the public because that was 3 days ago.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have written down here what I got and what the current line is because like we spoke about on Sunday, we were urging people to take the lines now before they moved
hmm
out of their favor. And, I took lines as we were looking them up. So, I feel really good about the lines that I do have. Um, you know, I, I don't know what to say if, you lost 3 points,
Yeah.
waiting. That's just a tough break. But I do love the Utah. I do love the Utah State play plus 6.5. I have the money line in a parlay. Um, I I I'm picking them in my bracket to move on, and not looking back there. I'm not changing my
Boy,
mind.
that's what I like to hear. What do you got for us next, Greg?
All right. My
Hold on,
next.
hold on. I'm sorry, I
Yes,
didn't want to
yes.
interrupt.
No
They're
worries.
now a 4. Texas Tech is now 4.5.
4.5. Wow. I'm very happy I got it where it's at.
I love the respect.
I love the
Gotta love it.
respect too. I mean, they did a great job in the tournament. They played so well all year. They deserve the recognition they're getting right now.
That's for a fact. So I didn't want to cut you off, but I just
No,
saw it.
it's
Literally,
all
it
good.
just moved as I was staring at it.
That's I'm glad you let me know that. So my next favorite play is going to be Georgia Tech, Loyola Chicago over 124 and a half.
Mm.
I mentioned this on Sunday's episode, which hopefully people see before they watch this episode. Um, but this number is just way too low. I got it at 124. Current line is 126. I would still play it at that number. Sure, the line is that low, all to the fact that Loyola Chicago is a very good defense. If they were a mid tier, you know, a mid tier defense, it would be more in the range of 135, 136. But when I look at Georgia State's previous games against good defenses, I look at games where they played UNC, pretty good defense, 139 points. I look at two games against Clemson, 148, and where was that other one here? And 146. And then I look at the game against Virginia, 126. So you're telling me that you're giving Loyola Chicago's defense the same respect that you're going to give Virginia's defense. And Loyola Chicago doesn't play at as slow of a pace on the offensive side of the ball as Virginia does. So that's going to create more possessions in the game, more opportunities to knock down shots, go to the free throw line. I just think this number is way too low.
I 100% agree. I didn't write that down because I know you talked about it, and
Mm-hmm.
I know you have another. I don't know if you have it again for today. I think it's a Saturday game, but I don't know if you have it for today. Um, the Alabama total. It was the Alabama? No, the I'm sorry, Ohio State total. I knew you
Mm-hmm.
had both of those, so I didn't write it
Mm-hmm.
down. But I'm 100% on both of those.
Yeah, the Ohio State total. It was I think on Sunday it was
154.
156. It
No,
was
it was
154.
154. Yeah.
It's up to like 156, 157 and a half, something like that.
hmm Yeah.
Big
No, I
big
love
movement.
that play. Yeah, you're gonna get it. It's a public time. Me when we did the Birth of a Degenerate with Jared last week, I talked about line movement real quick, just like a public announcement, kind of thing. Like I meant to do it on this show, but things happen. I didn't get to talk about it too much. But public events like Super Bowl, like NBA Finals, lines move like crazy
Mm-hmm.
because you have people who don't normally betting on games. A lot more money coming in. Vegas has to hedge, has to cover their tails for the. When lines do move, it's because of the money, and then Vegas has to adjust because they can't get killed when a line becomes valuable to a sharp who's going to drop 500 grand on a game and just
Yeah,
clean up. That's
exactly.
why the lines are always moving.
And while we're on the topic of line movement, I saw something crazy the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. So at the beginning of the season, Michigan to win the tournament was a 125 to 1 odds.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that Vegas took multiple 30,000 plus bets.
Mm-hmm.
Now Michigan is like, I don't know the exact number, but probably plus 300 or 400 to win the tournament. So, that's after a season has gone by. But I just thought that was something that would be interesting to everyone to see where they opened and at closing time where they're looking at.
Absolutely. I mean, we can keep going. I can bounce off of that. Talk about the team we just talked about, Loyola. They
Mhm.
were 200 to 1 last week. They're now 40 to 1.
Wow.
That's because of the amount of bets coming in because people know who they are this year.
Hmm.
You know? I mean, do I think that's a good bet? Not particularly.
Mm-mm.
Do I think it's a bad bet? Not really. I don't like obviously because they'll go up against which will most likely be Illinois the next round. I don't see that happening. I think Illinois is just too strong of a team.
Yeah, it's a sprinkle at the absolute best. But it's crazy to think about because I remember it was 2 years ago now when Auburn went to the national finals. And they had some crazy odds going into the tournament. And then when that was happening, I was introduced to a website to where you can sell your future bets.
Ooh,
Yeah, so like
Prop swap.
prop swap, exactly right.
Yeah,
Not an advertisement.
no
no
free
free
Um,
advertising
ads.
here.
yeah. So it's like if you get Auburn, say at plus 20,000 to win the national championship, and they make it to the finals, and they're plus like 300 dogs in the finals, let's say, you sell that ticket for $10,000, $15,000.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people get that lucky?
I mean, I would never if I've gotten that far with that ticket,
You got to let it ride.
I'm letting that ride.
You're really letting that ride and not taking $10,000?
It's a lottery ticket, man.
I think
It
I'm
was
taking the
fate.
10,000.
If that I had a friend, one of my college roommates had Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup. Worst odds in hockey to win the Stanley Cup. When they were a brand new team, they got all the way there, and it broke his heart. But he told me I can't sell that ticket.
Hmm.
Can't sell that ticket. He has that ticket hanging up in his room, sitting there for how close he could have been. You know?
Yeah, I totally get that. I really do. But when you think about what the smart move would be, and now we're
Sure.
just talking financials, like we're not even talking about the game anymore.
I'm a gambling man.
Let it ride, baby.
Let it
Yeah,
Let it
ride.
ride. You went
that's
this
fair.
far on this run. Take it one more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't
I
let it.
would just
I can't
maybe
give up
one day
now.
I'll be in the situation where I need to make that decision.
And
But
then if you don't text us, we'll tell you let it ride.
believe me, I will not be texting you. I will talk
Almost
to my fiduciary.
almost every time I've told somebody to let it ride and it hits. Except for one time, he said, "No, I'm not gonna listen to you." I told him cash it out. He had the option to cash it out. I told him to let it ride. I mean, I told him to cash it out. He said, "No, I'm gonna let it ride." He lost. I was the right move. Very rarely do I tell
It
someone to
was
cash out. It was
you
just
told
was a
me
terror. I don't remember what the bet was offhand. It was during football season. It was just a terrible choice. And I was like,
You told me the other day. I texted into you guys. Should I cash out my Miami money line against
let it
Clemson?
ride.
No, you told me
I
cash
know. I
out.
told you because I didn't think that was gonna.
I'm pretty sure I said to let it ride.
I don't. I don't. I don't remember. I know for a fact Billy told me cash out, and I was trying to cash out, and like right when I click it, became unavailable. So I was gonna cash it out. It would have
Close.
still been a nice payday, but I'm like, oh shit, this is tough.
Close. It definitely got close there.
Yeah.
Let's get back to games. I want to
All
talk
right.
about a couple. Um, this one stuck out to me. I think this is one that Vegas kind of missed on. Uh, West Virginia minus 12.5 versus the worst team ever in Morehead State. Fuck Morehead State for what they did to my good friend Morgan. It made him cry for a week. I will never
Appreciate
respect
that.
them as an organization. They are now at the bottom of the barrel with UNC and with Mount St. Mary's. That being said, I think West Virginia should win by 20 at least. I don't know where they get the 12.5 from. Greg's going to have some dumb stat about Morehead State that I don't care about. Culver's going to play 20, 25 minutes and still have a 20-10 night. This team gets to the line more than anybody else in the country. They shoot about 80% from the line. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm not looking back. I love it. Yeah, I don't know about you, Greg. I think that line's a little. There's so much value with the 12.5. I think
I'm sorry, I totally blanked out. What game were we talking about?
West Virginia versus your shitty Morehead State team.
Oh, I think it's only 12.5 for the fact that Morehead State is a defensive first team.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what it's about. But I mean, West Virginia plays defense well as well. I mean, they're probably going to hold Morehead State to 50 points.
Yeah,
That's really what's going to come down to. I'm taking the 12.5 in that game for sure.
Yeah, like it's one of the it's in there. It's been one of my parlays. I love that bet. That 12.5 I think is easy.
If you do want some interesting spread knowledge about these two, Morehead State is 10-1 in their last 11 as an underdog, and West Virginia is 0-4 in their last four against the spread.
Well, who's West Virginia played in the last four? Utah State. Not Utah State. I'm sorry. I have Utah State in my mind. Oklahoma State. They played Baylor. They played Illinois in the last three.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still not. They're not even getting. They're not getting enough points, so they're not being close enough. So, is that defense as good as we think it is?
Or was Oklahoma State on a wild run,
No, I agree.
beating everybody?
We were all saying the other night. I mean, I think Oklahoma State's going pretty far. So,
I don't know. I mean, it is food for thought, but Morehead State can't hold Greg's jockstrap. So,
I mean, I'm not picking Morehead State. I will never pick Morehead State.
yeah.
But
Greg, hit me with another pick.
All right. Another one of my favorite picks. It's going to be Virginia Tech at a pick 'em at this point against Florida. Florida is just not a team that I think anybody can trust. They are way too inconsistent, losing 3 of their last 5 going into the tournament. 2 of them being against Tennessee, who I also don't trust. In those last 5 games, they beat Vandy, they beat Kentucky, both close games. I think Virginia Tech is the stronger team on both sides of the ball. They have an upperclassman presence. They're coming off of they played 1 game since their COVID outbreak, and they played UNC real tough until the end of the game when they, let UNC pull away. But I think they just have way more room for positive opportunity in this game than Florida does. We all know Florida's missing their best player on the team, and I think that presence of having the star is going to be very much missed in this game. So I'm seeing a 10 versus 7 upset here. I wouldn't even call it an upset. You could flip these seeds for my 2 cents.
100% agree. It's one of my plays as well. I talked about it in detail
Mm-hmm.
on the last episode. Um, I'll take the team that deserves to be in the tournament against a team that has no business being there.
Yeah,
On their, like I said on Sunday, on their best day, Virginia Tech can play ball with anybody.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they beat a full strength Villanova team at the beginning of the season in
Mhm.
non-conference play.
Yep, and they just beat Virginia full strength.
They just beat Virginia full strength. So I mean, there's a ton of credibility with this team. They, like I said, they lost to a good UNC team. Uh, I'll blame that to rust, and I'm sure they're getting practices in every day, shoot arounds, and I think they come out hot.
Yeah, they're gonna have that COVID thing that happened in the beginning of the year, where COVID teams come back and shoot 80%.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hope so. Morgan, what do you think on that game?
I like. I don't know what I have. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see what I had. I don't have too many. I told you I don't have a ton on a lot of. It's like Friday, even
All
Thursday
right.
stuff just yet.
Any
Because I
lean
was looking. I
Come on,
just off the
Morgan.
top of the dome?
Come on, Morgan.
VTech. That was where I was going to be originally. So we was when we talked about Thursday Sunday. How Billy was, he was going off how they can go against any team in the country on their best night. So I think they can as well. I don't think Florida's that good. Florida hasn't been relevant since 2005. They don't win anymore.
They were going to be relevant this year. It's just a damn shame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it is what it is. I have a 116 play. If you guys
Okay.
were interested,
No, I'd love to hear it.
I have Baylor versus Hartford under 141.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Why is that?
yep.
Because Harvard's going to
interesting.
put up 40?
That's
That's exactly why, Greg. We see it too often. These one seeds, they're up 35 points. They need to put up the gas. There's no point. That's why, like, sometimes you see these 16 seeds cover because they don't. They're up by too much. They pull everybody, keep them healthy for the next couple days. Yeah, I don't think Harvard can score 50 on Baylor. I think only way this over hits if Baylor scores over 100. That's my personal opinion, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I
I
didn't I
go
didn't
ahead.
think of that logic, and that makes a lot of sense actually. I think I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well.
it seems it's weird because it seems normal for a Baylor game,
Mhm.
but it's like Baylor's going up against Hartford, who 99% of the public, and that includes myself, and I would assume both of you as well, haven't seen a Hartford game all year long.
I have not.
The only
Uh,
Hartford I know is the Hartford Whalers. So
yeah, so yeah, I think that's what it comes down to too. Is Baylor probably holding them to 40, 45 points, and
Mhm. That's
yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
yeah,
We're looking for a 45 to 80 game.
mm-hmm.
That's with plenty of room.
Yeah, I agree. I like that under a lot. I really do. Question for you boys that I'm curious about. Do either of you, and I think I know the answer to this, do you ever partake in teasers?
In college basketball, no. In basketball in general, no.
No? It's just a football thing for you guys?
yeah, I only do it in NFL.
Because I'm just thinking here, because I think if you were to do a 3-team teaser, you get up to like 4.5 points.
Yeah, which is useless.
I don't think it's useless because imagine you taking, Utah State up to 10 points and you take that over under to like 145 and a half, 146, and then, you take another game that you're feeling good about and adding more leverage to it.
To win
Yeah,
my money back.
no,
You lose so much. You might be getting plus 101 after a while. It's not.
what
It
do you
ends
mean?
up being you're putting because if the more you're teasing the game, the less money you're going to win in a payout.
Let's tease it right now.
Well, no, the three team teasers are
It'll still be
it's
it'll
it's
still be
130
better,
to win
but
100, I believe.
yeah, but I mean, even that for 3 teams, that's not worth it. For 3 games that you got to play off of, that's not worth it.
I guess it doesn't
Why is
matter.
it not worth it? Because all right, imagine you play those 3 games
If
and
I'm
you
going to
lose all
parlay
three.
something, I don't want to. I mean, I get the whole make it easier and everything, but I want to win what I'm going to win. Like I don't want
It would
to
win.
take any.
3-team 4-point basketball parlay is plus 180. 4.5 is plus 160. You can bring it all the way down to 6 points is plus 125.
Yeah, so if you think about it, I mean, you could take your 3 favorite games, put more leverage to it at plus money, and they could all be close games, and you lose all 3, but then you win your teaser.
That's fair. No, it's not. It's not a bad idea. I just like I'll buy like a point to get off the hook or to not push or something. But like you're not getting through a specific number. That's what for me football teasers are for. Is to get it through the number, get it through 7, get it through 10, get it through 14.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like the number is 3. Really, it's 3 to 4 in college in basketball, especially in college. Really, it's 2 to 3. Um, that's the line. That's that tight little window of late game fouling. It's something to think about. I might partake just to build a bankroll, but I've never been a big fan of the college basketball teaser. It's risking 3 games where I've already put money on. It's really I would do it to be more confident, just double up.
Interesting. Yeah, I was just curious to see what you guys thought.
It's not a bad curiosity question. I got one more game. We talked
Yeah,
about it. I'm gonna be on Winthrop plus 7.5. It's 60.5 now because people are privy to the fact that Villanova stinks. Um, like I said on Sunday, no offense, Morgan. This is true. They stink without Gillespie. They will be getting more back. Doesn't really matter to me. Winthrop is a top 40 pace of play team compared to Villanova, which is one of the slowest teams in the country, bottom 10. Um, if Winthrop push the pace, this game is easily theirs. It's literally as simple as that. If they can maximize their possessions, it's all it's going to take is they score at a high clip. This is the exact team I wanted to see going up against Villanova. I've got sprinkles on the money line. 7.5, I think it's very, very doable.
Yeah, I love that play a lot. I'm sprinkling the money line too. I have them in my bracket to move on.
Me as well.
There's there's no looking back for me.
Morgan, Winthrop
Yeah,
plus 7.5.
I'm on Winthrop money line as well.
Hey,
Uh,
that's my guy.
I also have them moving in my bracket, obviously. As the guy who lives 20 minutes from Villanova, I can attest that Villanova stinks. They are not good this year. Losing Gillespie was brutal. They just don't have it. They don't have the glue guy this year like last year where they would have had Sadiq Bey. The year before is Mikal Bridges still. They don't have that guy on this team. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, he isn't that guy. So it hurt them losing their leader. That kills them. So they're done. They're not going anywhere.
Here's
Retool for next year. They got a big recruit. They're down to the final 3 to try to land. So
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Big recruits. We're talking about tournaments. Talking about recruits for next year. Get out of here.
always looking ahead. Got to get my futures ready for next year.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Yeah, losing your leader, losing your point guard is something that no team ever wants to do headed into the tournament. So I think they've been lost. They haven't scored over 50 points since. So I'm sorry, over 60 points since.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, losing point guard's a huge thing. I think the point is a true freshman, Brian Antoine, and it was hurt most of the year already, so he doesn't have any time with these guys on the court or anything. It's a situation just they're going to lose.
I got you. Greg, you have one more pick? I don't know what we're up to.
Yeah, I do have one more pick coming for you.
Right about now?
Yeah, I just wanted to look up a stat real quick. All right. So my last play that I'm really high on, Ohio plus 8.5 versus Virginia. Current line is +7. I got it at plus 8.5. For all the reasons that we said on Sunday, I know I keep going back to that, but we were diving pretty deep on almost every game, so I don't want to like repeat myself on everything, but I think just the guard play is going to be a huge factor in this game. Preston versus, oh my God, what's the little point guard's name on Virginia?
He was 5'8".
Yeah, he's 5'8". Preston is 6'4". Preston's getting LaMelo Ball comparisons, which I mentioned the other night. And Morgan, me and Billy spoke about this already, that the next morning I'm listening to ESPN radio on the way to work, and Jay Billis gives the same comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name. I think it's Kahi Clark.
Clark, yeah. I
Definitely Clark.
Yeah, I think the guard play is just going to be a huge differentiating factor in this game. Virginia has the better, big man on the inside in Huff, who can also extend it to the 3-point line. But I think Ohio is just, they create more possessions per game. Virginia only averages 62 possessions a game, where Ohio averages almost 74. Ohio has scored 78 points or more in 14 of their last 15 games. And on top of that, there were no slouches in non-conference at the beginning of the year. They beat another tournament team in Cleveland State by 55. I don't think anybody's even remembered that game back in early December.
I mean, I do. I just try not to remember.
Yeah,
I love my Cleveland State.
Yeah, and the game before Cleveland State, they ran Illinois to the last seconds, losing by 2. So, yeah. I mean, also this was I think this was before Illinois was really thought about as one of the best teams in the nation. But still, we see that they're able to put up fights and win with some of the best teams in the nation. They beat Buffalo. I don't remember how they fared with Toledo. I'm actually trying to find that right now. They lost to Toledo once. Yeah, they beat Buffalo twice. They lost to Toledo. So, they have good wins on their resume. They can clearly score the ball a ton. And I just think the extra possessions that they can produce and the X factor being Preston is going to, it's going to win them the game, or at worst, cover 8.5 points.
Yeah, for sure. The 8.5 is juicy,
and that's a game I would love to throw into a teaser.
I don't think you need to.
I don't think I need to either. But that's a game I would love to throw in, just because 8.5 feels so comfortable. Why not add an extra 4.5?
Yeah, sure. You and your teasers. While I'm over here sprinkling money lines, you talk about teasers.
I'm sprinkling the money line too. I have it in a nice parlay, 12-team parlay, 10 to win 50 grand.
Oh, your parlay is slightly better than mine. Yeah, damn it, Greg.
Yeah, bro. I'll announce it on episode. If my 12-team parlay hits, first off, we're paying Sean.
Yep.
We announced that already. And second off, I will give you both $5,000.
Oh, that would be wonderful. The same goes for me. Mine pays out 27 grand.
And that is a virtual handshake.
Let's give it the Greg P sign. Let's give it the Greg P sign. Make that official.
Guys, I don't know why you go like this because I don't do that.
It's just got to be done.
I just get it.
Yeah.
And every time you do it, you push yourself further into the
Yeah,
screen.
you're like, hey man, let me get that. Make sure that one's in there.
Make sure.
Um, yeah, no, I don't hate that. And you add that plus the COVID issues that Virginia has, they might not even play. You know, they might have 5 guys that are able to play,
Hmm.
and that's just bad business.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate for the fact that, I mean, who would they add in? Who would they put there?
Louisville,
Louisville's first on the
I believe
COVID
they're
rotation.
first
I
on
thought it
COVID
was
rotation.
Belmont. I thought it was Belmont.
No, Belmont's not even in question. They weren't on the bubble. They needed to win.
Hmm.
So do we know what would happen if? Okay, so clearly that's for the round of 64. But say it goes down to the round of 32,
That team just moves on.
then it's just an uncontested win.
Hmm.
Oh, that would suck. I hope nothing happens like that.
Yeah, you know, nothing like the six head referees going out to dinner and now being kicked out. Brutal.
The
The fuck was that?
fix is in.
Yeah, the fix is in, boys. Morgan, do you have any picks for us today?
I do have NBA picks, so
Okay.
I didn't know if you want me to get into it because
Yeah,
obviously it's March season.
absolutely. Give
I
us
do
some
have
picks. You're real quiet over there tonight. My ears don't hurt yet, so
I don't. It's oh I don't. I only have the 4 for the NIT so far, so I don't have a ton. I don't want to. I don't want to chime in with something I don't know enough about yet. But I'll have a bunch more coming out. So I'll have a lot of plays coming up tomorrow on Twitter. I have some leans that I've been looking at, but nothing I want to throw out there yet until I know exactly what I'm talking about.
that's
But
fine.
for NBA for tomorrow, just make sure I have the right opponents real fast. First one I'm going to be on, and I'm starting to second guess myself a little bit, but I'm going to still lean this way. Is Bucks -6 against the Sixers? Sixers were in a real sweat against the Knicks tonight, so they're coming off a back-to-back, which it was a really close game. So they're going to be more exhausted than typically would be. It was a very kind of an emotional game too towards the end for the Sixers, which was nice. No Joel Embiid still, so that's huge. Face not to have in there. Embiid in his past has done an excellent job covering Giannis. Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders in the league, but I don't know if he's powerful enough to stop Giannis. So I think I like the Bucks laying 6 against them tomorrow. I also have the Nets getting 3.5 against the Pacers. The Pacers have been ice cold since about 2 weeks in before the All-Star break, whereas the Nets are heating up and they're on fire right now. They cannot miss. James Harden is playing at an MVP type level. Kyrie's been complimenting very well. That seems like such a low number, so I'm getting that real early and just going with that all the way. I'm also going to have the Clippers laying 2.5. I just lost that against the Mavericks. These two teams have a big kind of budding history with one another, dating back to the bubble last year, where Luka hit a couple game winners against them, and the Clippers ultimately moved on. I really like the Clippers' chances here. They match up well. Mavericks don't have any interior presence whatsoever, and they have no rebounding. Their best defensive or their best rebounding center and just center in general right now is Boban Marjanovic, and it's not a great option to have, unfortunately. So I do like the Clippers 2.5 here, and then I also and this is a pick more so out of just pure entertainment because they're a very fun team to watch, and I absolutely love their team announcers. The Hornets and Nuggets over 231. There was a video out there today where because the Hornets announcers go nuts after even every little shot. And it was like the guy makes a free throw and he goes, "Oh, Terry!" And it was just it was like the funniest thing to see. The Hornets are extremely entertaining to watch. I don't like LaMelo Ball, but he is a fun player to watch. Terry Rozier is awesome. They're just a scrappy little bunch that just tooth and claws their way. On the Nuggets side, this is big games for Jokic, who saw his MVP odds go up significantly with Joel Embiid's injury. This is really a time for him to put up stats against these lower level teams. So I think that's an easy number to hit for sure.
No, I like that. I was
Very
on
nice.
the Hornets the other night in a little 3-game parlay. I like betting on the Hornets. You know the Hornets, because I do watch a couple of their games. Their announcers remind me a whole lot of Grand Canyon's announcers. They're just
Yeah,
screaming the entire time. They're
it's
just so
they
excited.
everything the stupidest little things they go nuts about.
And the layup, yes.
It's amazing. I always, whenever I just a game on, the Sixers aren't on, that's who I look for first.
I'm very
Morgan, I
upset.
have a question.
Oh,
As long as you're done with NBA.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. You got any Honda Classic picks for me?
Oh yes.
Give me 1 second. Let me look at some numbers here. I had not looked at anything yet. I just want to
I
see
got some winners for you. Hold on.
who's in the field.
Because I was looking, and last year's winner, Sung Jae Im, he won at a -6 for the tournament.
Yeah, this is a more of a finesse tournament than a power tournament. DeChambeau isn't in this, but he wouldn't be a play
No,
or a very
he's
strong.
way down.
Yeah, he would. This wouldn't be a very good play for him. I mean, Chris Kirk has good value at plus 4,500. He had a 7-under round this past week, so he's playing some good golf right now. That's good value. Shane Lowry, I like his play. He's a very good technical golfer. He's at plus 2,800. This could be a good spot for Lee Westwood. He entered last week as the 56-hole leader. Unfortunately, didn't win. He's been around for a long time. He was, if I'm not mistaken, when Tiger was going through some issues, he was the world number one. So he's a very strong golfer. He's played great this season. He played great this past week. He could have a good shot at this one too.
Interesting. Yeah, because I was looking because I saw that the scores were so low last year, and I didn't know that it was a finesse course. But I was looking at the weather in Palm Beach where it's being held, and of the 4 days, I don't see any days with wind less than 10 miles an hour at any point in time.
Ooh.
And you've seen what that wind does on a PGA course. You've seen it in 2K21.
Yeah,
Takes you flying.
does me
Yeah,
dirty.
this is definitely not a long balls hitters type of course here. It's going to take, and like I said, I don't know who's all in this field. If DeChambeau's in it or if he's not in it,
He's not.
He's not. Yeah, that's going to take him out. Justin Thomas, this is not a good course for him.
He's not in it, I don't think.
Yeah, this is not a big guy course, typically speaking. I guess Spieth's not in this field, so you're going to have your technical guys like Lee Westwoods, who are more at this point of their careers, are focused more on wedge play and accuracy and just hitting greens in regulation. So it'll be a good tournament, though. It's always a good.
Is our boy Maverick playing? I don't see him.
Yeah,
I didn't see him in
tees
there.
off at 137.
Oh, always going to have a McNeely play.
He finished in the top 10 last year at -1.
See, I think it's a McNeely night.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm definitely going to sprinkle the guy.
I just
our
put a
boy.
dollar on it.
That's our boy.
When
he hits it big, we're going to be the ones who say we get to claim him.
Mm-hmm. We get that bet slip out on Twitter. We told you so. Our boy Mav.
How valid is it when you claim it every time, though?
Well, one of these times it's going to hit. You think these guys don't put up...
That's called supporting your man.
Listen, man, you don't think that these people who hit these parlays for $100,000 aren't putting in 20 parlays a day? Come on, man. Okay. You think it's my first parlay ever.
They hit on 3 parlays and they're perfect 3 for 3.
Yeah. It's amazing. Boys, I think that's it for tonight. Nice little easy night, no 3-hour marathon. I think it's good. We're gonna be back on Thursday with more college basketball. Maybe Morgan will talk for more than 5 minutes. It was nice though. Morgan got to play with his hair, stare at himself.
what I do a lot of the time. He pretty much summed up my entire day.
Without further ado, follow Gersh Greg. That's all I gotta say.
That's
That's it. That's
the
that's
title
all
of this.
everyone needs
The
to do.
title of this episode is "Follow Gersh Greg"
You
on
want me
Twitter.
I can make it that.
I do think we should make that the title.
One of these days, when it's not tournament season, and not trying to grab some clickbait, I'll make it follow Gersh Greg.
Follow at Gersh Greg.
Just
I
do
want
it.
to see it. I'm gonna get it trending by tomorrow.
Greg, you know what I think you should
We're gonna
do
bump those numbers up.
What's that?
with the West? If you hit that parlay, you should buy followers. This way, we
Okay.
don't feel so bad for you.
Okay. You guys will chip in?
Yeah, get one more than we have, and then you get to rub it in our face.
Well, how many is that?
I don't have many.
I have like 200 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 73 at the moment, but I got 200, and I got 600 on another one. I'm living large, boys.
Okay, we'll get there.
Morgan, close us out.
Yes, sir. So, got some big things coming this week. We have Birthing of a Degenerate, episode 4, part F, coming up this Thursday. A little inside joke there, Greggy. Every episode to me is episode 4. So we're on the fifth part F of episode 4 now. Kind of a big series we're doing. But yeah, come take a look at that. We have some cool things coming. If you haven't watched yet, watch the test that we had Jared take 2 weeks ago. Did he pass? Did he fail? Well, the only way you're going to find out is if you watch. You can find us at Betting Diagonal on Twitter, where we will have some picks. We've been a little more quiet the past couple nights with no college basketball going. Not so much of action happening, but that's going to dial right back up real fast. Individually, you can find Billy at Billy FFD. As we said earlier, a public service announcement at Gersh Greg, at Gersh Greg, at Gersh Greg. You heard it right here. Follow our boy. He needs the love. He needs that tender support. You can find me at MoWatts26. And we are Betting the Diagonal. I'll see you boys Thursday.